Yo, what's up, everybody? This is Super Ninja Austin here with the 74th episode of the SNA podcast. This is the Monday Night Raw review part 10. Yes, sir. Yes, sir, ma'am. I say 10, and that is my 10th review of doing the Monday Night Raw review ever since I started doing this podcast. Let's begin. We start off with Sami Zayn coming out to address Kevin Owens' move to SmackDown, all because of the draft trade with Jey Uso going to Raw, and then for an exchange, Nick Aldis announced last Friday that Kevin Owens was going to be on SmackDown, but that leaves his best friend Sami Zayn all alone onto the Red brand. And then he admitted that it was very sad and unfortunate that his best friend got moved to SmackDown, and he got no best friend like Kevin Owens on the Red brand. But anyways, he said it like this. And then he's like, but that's all right. But that's okay. I can still do things like that on my own. Something that I always wanted to do for the past months, and that's stand on my own 2 feet and show the whole world that I have known inside of me that for years and years in this industry, and that is that Sami Zayn is a world heavyweight champion, a level superstar. I was like, don't tell me she's gonna be Seth Rollins' next world heavyweight championship #1 contender. What if it's at, I don't know, perhaps Survivor Series or Royal Rumble, because both big pay-per-views are only just around the corner, like a month away for the Survivor Series and Royal Rumble is like 3 months away, so anything's possible at this point. But he wants to be the main event heavyweight championship star. Fans were chanting Sammy, and then Sami Zayn also said, he's like, and Jey Uso is on Raw here, and which he is kind of the reason why my best friend Kevin Owens left Monday Night Raw to go SmackDown because of the draft trade. Like that was finally finalized from this past Friday. But anyway, which I talked about that Kevin Owens was the surprising the surprising superstar that was the one that got traded over to SmackDown, which no one kind of did not expect that. Like, even though I probably would have expected Kevin Owens would try to revisit his feud with the Tribal Chief, but we would not know it would be anytime soon, though. But anyway, this is where Sami Zayn also said, like, it's because of the arrival of Jey Uso here on Raw, and then he was slowly and depressingly saying was going on on the promo, and then fans were saying saying some stuff about Jey Uso, the fans, and he was like, no, like Jey. Like, nobody wasn't happy, just as happier as I was when I see the arrival of Jey Uso. But I know it was going to cost me my best friend to leave Monday Night Raw. And then that's what made him very upset about that, to say the least. And he's that I'm also shown the fact that it took your whole entire lives to reach the highs of highs that Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn winning the tag team championships in the night one's main event of WrestleMania, and then Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn main event of WrestleMania in the process. After all that work to get there, and our tag team championship reign was tainted by the fact that the week in and week out, we had to deal with the Judgment Day in the most majority of that reign. And then now tonight, and the Judgment Day are all once getting a tag team opportunity. So I'm a lot of so much things. Everything's not going not much right for me, but I promise you that Sami Zayn is. I'm gonna tell you everything I do know. The past year of my career has been by far the best year of my career, which it sure was. Like him finally getting the headlines in the biggest show of the year with his best friends, and it was for the championship, even though it was not for the heavyweight championship, but it was some kind of a championship that he dreamed of winning with his best friend, the prize fighter, which he's sadly on Sammy's sake, he's on the Blue brand now on Friday nights, back on Friday nights, I should say. But anyway, Sami Zayn also said, and the reason why that he reached the heights that he did is because each and every single one of the WWE universe is because every single one of the ones, and then also the reason why the reason come out to the ring, and before he can finish that sentence, this is where the Judgment Day comes out and completely interrupts him. And then this is where Finn Balor got jealous and said, nobody should be kicking off Raw but the Judgment Day. I was like, does it even matter? Like, at least y'all here now. But anyway, this is where Finn Balor. And I forget the presenter is the season premiere of Monday Night Raw edition, I should say. Which I'm not sure if I put that on the caption, but y'all make sure y'all let me know in the comments down below. If not, I'll just check. As soon as I make the video. I should have put the season premiere, but I will present it as the season premiere. But yeah, this is what Finn Balor said. No one doesn't welcomes the fans here on the season premiere episode of Monday Night Raw, but the Judgment Day. And then he also said, Damian Priest is like, you know what's wild here? Like, it feels like we had these thorns on our side from the past half a year. Like, but I'm happy to say that we. One of those particular two thorns has been removed. And if Damian Priest was, you know what else will make us even happier? If we were moving you, our final thorn, in our side, and removing the undisputed tag team idiots. And then he said, you know what? Like I'm at it. I would be happy to remove Drew McIntyre right now. And then he was saying, like, in Spanish, saying, like, I believe he's probably saying he was the cause of him not cashing in successfully on Seth Rollins last week. And then Rhea Ripley had to calm him down and say, like, and then Rhea Ripley's like, we already talked about this, we'll forget about Drew right now and focus on tonight. And then Dominic Mysterio said, tonight, Mommy is going to tear Shayna Baszler apart and then put the whole women's division back on notice. And then fans were booing like, boo, we don't want to hear whatever. And then Rhea Ripley's like, that's right, my Latino heat, calm down. And he's like, Priest, you're going to bring back the Undisputed Tag Team Championship to the Judgment Day. I was like, please, don't come back to the Judgment Day. Like, Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso are doing a most successful job, like, holding those double color straps, and then they should not lose them just yet. Like, just give them about a week or two, and then they keep on the top. But yeah, like I said on Friday, and I'll say it again, and maybe last night on Sunday's news video, who was gonna win? Y'all let me know down in the comments below once again. Well, anyways. And then this is where Rhea Ripley's like, we usually recruit the last final superstars and then lead them to our direction. And then what we tried to do with Jey Uso, and the fans are chanting, what? That when it comes to you, Sammy, and the fans will keep saying, what? That we have a plan. We want to get rid of you permanently. And then she did a little evil chuckle. And then this is when they start surrounding, like if they were a pack of vultures, like 4 packs of vultures surrounding Sami Zayn all around the ring. This is where Jey Uso came in with 2 chairs and scared the Judgment Day off, and holding the 2. He gave Sami Zayn 1 steel chair, and he had the other chair in his hands. And he's like, come on, come back. And I guess this plan worked of being for the aid of Sami Zayn, but Sami Zayn said, it looked like I appreciate it, but I declined your offer of coming for the save. which I think he's kind of upset because he's sort of the reason why his boy KO's not there no more. And what do you think about this? This storyline between about this of the matter with Jey Uso. Between Jey Uso and Sami Zayn. Y'all let me know down in the comments below. Where this gonna lead off to? And do you think that it's gonna turn into some kind of a heel turn, like back on Sami Zayn? I hope not. Hopefully, if anything, they should create some kind of alliance, like of him realizing like maybe a blessing in disguise came out of that, even though it cost me my best friend. But maybe I could start a new alliance, like not replacing KO, but team with Jey Uso, but not like a potential tag team partner for the championship. Maybe so, but I think Sami Zayn should. I believe Sami Zayn should stay like he is right now, and then he may team with Jey Uso in the couple of matches, like baby faces versus team heels, and he'll even go after for the World Heavyweight Championship, whether if it's Seth Rollins, Drew McIntyre, or Damian Priest. And that reminds me, we're going to talk about more about Seth Rollins and Drew McIntyre over for the World Heavyweight Championship in their segment. But anyway, this leads off backstage with Jey Uso and Sami Zayn. With them, Jey Uso was like, "Yo, what's up? Like, what was that all about out there? Like everything okay?" And he's like, "Well, I'm okay, but yeah, I'm good, but I just need a little space right now." That's Sami Zayn. And he's like, "I just need a minute, like because." And then Jey Uso was like, "Go on, man, talk. Look, like I want this to be good. I want to be cool with me, and I just want to." I have nothing but respect and appreciation for you. What you have when you have my back here right there. But that's the thing. You shouldn't be the number one guy that should have my back. Like the guy that usually should have my back is on SmackDown, and that man is Kevin Owens. And then Sami Zayn. And then Sami Zayn's like, it should. He told Jey Uso like, it shouldn't be you out there. Like it should be Kevin. And then he's like, Kevin's not here no more on SmackDown. And then that's because of you. Like, and then Sami Zayn looked very overly upset because of it. Because he went on and on about saying like it's great out here. Like, and you're doing successful team with Cody and all, but like. And that's going great. Like you got the tag team championships, you got everything, and you got a friend, you got a championship, and I got neither of them no more. I neither have the undisputed tag team championships, and I don't have my friend KO, and that's all because of you. Like, and he was like, no disrespect, but it's the truth. Like it's just. And then Jey Uso's like, man, I didn't know you felt like that. Like, because you still got me, right? That's what Jey's. He's like, well, this is what it is, Uso. No, I guess so. This is where Sami Zayn got more mad and upset and frustrated. He pushed the ladder that was hanging right onto the equipment box. Here you go, Trey. You. And then this is where he calls Jey Uso back. He was like, Jey, wait, like, sorry, like I blew up on you like that, but I forgot why I just said, like I'm sorry what happened, what I just said, like. It's been a tough week for me, like from the past month, and he's like, I'm happy for you, and you know, and I'm glad you're doing successful, and I'm sorry, like, and then he tried a handshake at Jey Uso. He was like, "Are we good now, guys?" And then this is where Jey Uso's like, "Yay!" And then he did the yay chants, which I bet Roman Reigns been having nightmares about that from the past weekend since Jimmy Uso would start saying yay. Even though he had hatred ever since he started using that when he went to Raw and won the tag championship with Cody Rhodes in Fastlane, he was annoyed by that, but he got more annoyed when Jimmy Uso was talking about that, saying that catchphrase. And then this is where Jey Uso tells Sami Zayn you look like you need to chill down for a little bit. Like just the thing for that. Like let me guess, some certain kind of drinks that made you go off scripted and wild on that press conference, which that explains a lot. But anyways, up next, we got the Falls Count Anywhere match with Ricochet taking on Shinsuke Nakamura, which they've been into bad blood, a heated feud. And then this is where, before they got the match, this is where we got a video message saying Falls Count Anywhere match, like you said in Japanese. It was like, whose idea was it, you or Adams? Like, but no matter, I'm going to squish you like a bug on the dirty floor that you're in. And then this is where we finally do have the match. This is where Shinsuke Nakamura got the upper hand, slamming him in a back suplex, the signature move that I usually do before he does the Kinshasa. This is where he waits for Ricochet to get up on his knees to try to go for going for the front side kick, but Ricochet ducks, hits a running face breaker, formerly known as code breaker in WWE, of course, when Jericho was there. This is where he tried to go for the pinfall to Shinsuke Nakamura, but the referee count 1, the referee count to 2, but he kicks out at 2 even. This is where Ricochet gets back up. This is where Ricochet threw Shinsuke Nakamura out of the ring. This is where he runs right to the ropes, hits a diving corkscrew moonsault majig right onto Shinsuke Nakamura. This is where they tell the referee to come here because he was pinning Shinsuke Nakamura. But the referee counted to 1, the referee counted to 2, and he kick out right at 2.6 seconds. This is where let's see what else happens. This is where he drags him right into the stage area, right onto the top of the stage. This is where, let's see right here. This is where he took some backstage right where the producers were in. This is where he started hitting them with lefts and rights. This is where Shinsuke Nakamura kicks him in the midsection, hits him with a striking left. This is where he needs him in the midsection again. This is where he puts up. This is where he tried to put him against the wall, but Ricochet counters in an interception with a forearm. This is where Shinsuke Nakamura kicks him out in the midsection. This is where he tried to run up right to Ricochet, but Ricochet went and pinwheeled right over the referee, spin with his back, doing a side flip, looking like Reginald, and then he hits a running knee strike right onto Shinsuke Nakamura. He pins Shinsuke Nakamura again, but he only got a 1, he got a 2, and got a 2.5 count. This is where they went back out into the stage. Ricochet was like who's ready for a fight, people? And this is where the fans were saying, yeah, us. And this is where Shinsuke Nakamura headbutts Ricochet. He tried to Irish whip him right to the LED board, right onto the stage. This is where he did the amazing backflip I have ever seen from an athletical professional wrestler. And then I was like, wow, he just really flipped up right to the wall. Like even when I did a backflip on the wall, I need to hang on to something like on a little bar to do a backflip over on the wall. But anyways, this is where he does a flip. He does a super kick right into Nakamura's midsection. This is where Ricochet went right onto the. This is where he went right onto the. This is where he tried to go for a running sliding kick right onto the face of Shinsuke. This is where he ducks out of the way. This is where he tried to go. This is where Ricochet improvised with a moonsault, but Shinsuke Nakamura came right on time with the knees right onto his midsection, right on his ribs, right on his ribs. This is where Shinsuke Nakamura tried to go to sleep like he did last week when he attacked him from behind. I was like, nope, no more references. I guess there's no more references of CM Punk because this is where Ricochet grabs onto his leg, hits the dragon screw on the side, and landed his knee right onto the concrete stage floor. And then Shinsuke Nakamura was shouting in agony like, ah! And this is where Ricochet finally hits a running shooting star press right onto the King of Strong Style. And then this is where they took it up on the top of the. This is where they took it onto the top of the stage. This is where Ricochet. But, let's see right here. That's right. Yeah, he hits a shooting star press on everybody, on Shinsuke Nakamura and the security guards, right onto the top of the entrance of the top of the audience. Which I'll say, I have never seen nobody do that. Not even Jeff Hardy. Like, I was like, Jeff Hardy couldn't do that. Like, he could like, I'll say, unless if it was a Swanton bomb, I'll say, I don't think he could do a move like that. Or even Johnny TV. Like, him and even a Darby Allin, yeah. And this is where he throws him back down into the lower part of the audience. This is where Shinsuke Nakamura distracted him, grabbed the fans' popcorn, threw it all over Ricochet's face. Irish whipped him right in the inner part of Barry Barricade, or former Barry Barricade, I should say. Rest in peace, God bless his soul. This is where he hit him with a striking. I believe he hit him with a striking knee strike right off of the barricade with him hanging off, and he went back under the ringside area. This is where Shinsuke Nakamura, that's where he Irish whipped him right into Barry Barricade, or former Barry Barricade. I need to learn to say Barry Barricade nowadays. But anyways, this is where Shinsuke Nakamura grabs a table under the ring, and some 2 pairs of nunchucks, some that we haven't seen him use from the past 7 days, I believe. Not 7, 9 days since his match for the World Heavyweight Championship against Seth Rollins. He started swinging them around, swinging and hitting Ricochet right into his ribs, in his hips, in the back of his side. And this is where, and he started hitting his trying to go for his bald head, but he was dodging it with his head, but he was still kneeing him and striking him and kicking him. This is where he tried to pick up the table and hang it up into place. This is where Shinsuke Nakamura he brought putting up the this is where he put up the table, take off the table pieces, and then he wipe everything off. This is where Ricochet hit the striking knee strike right on this side, and then this is where he hits a forearm right into his head. This is where Ricochet hits another forearm, laying him out, trying to go for, I believe, either the 630 splash or the Too Fast, Too Furious moonsault. But anyway, this is where Shinsuke Nakamura moved right out of the way. And this is where Ricochet got off the top rope. This is where he started trying to hit a blow, but Shinsuke Nakamura hot shot him throat first right to the top rope. This is where he tried to go for a suplex right off the apron and take Ricochet outside the ring, try to suplex him right through the table, but that plan didn't work. This is where Ricochet counters, flips him over. Go for a suplex in the ring, but Shinsuke Nakamura countered and flipped out of it as soon as he got back in the ring. This is where he went for a ripcord, like a back ripcord, but he's spinning around, try to go for the go to sleep, and then you know the rules. He finally successfully executed the go to sleep. I believe that's another reference to CM Punk, and let me know in the comments if it is or not. But yeah, like that rule said, if it doesn't successfully execute the first time, then there's gonna be a guaranteed. You're gonna be successfully hit. You're gonna successfully hit your signature finishing move the second attempt, unless you're super cursed and cannot get a move even if you tried. But anyways, this is where he pins Ricochet. The referee count to 1, the referee count to 2, but he kicks out. I believe 2.999. Yeah. This is where he gets back up. This is where he begging Ricochet to get back up, to hit his finishing move, which is the Kinshasa. This is where Ricochet slowly but surely got back. Got to go for the Kinshasa. As soon as he got his knees up, he got up in the air. He kicks him, do that kicking strike, backflip maneuver right onto Shinsuke Nakamura. This is where he hits a step up Itsugiri afterwards and try to knock down the King of Strong Style, but he still was standing on his feet. Just went right onto the top left corner of Tina the Turnbuckle. This is where Ricochet got back up. This is where he go right up and go for a splash and attack move. This is where Shinsuke Nakamura flips him on the side onto the apron. This is where he tried to hit a strike. This is where he got intercepted by Ricochet with a step up Itsugiri right onto the apron, and Ricochet tried to get ready to do a springboard maneuver right on Shinsuke Nakamura, which was a springboard 450 splash, was successfully executed, of course. And I was like, that's really good, but I'm not sure if he's going to put him away because the referee counted the 1, the referee counted the 2. He kicks out at 2.9999.01 out of the 3. This is where he tried to go up to the top rope, hits the, I believe, was the Too Fast, Too Furious shooting star press, but Shinsuke Nakamura went on the top rope. This is where he tried to do some kind of a slamming move off the top rope. This is where Shinsuke Nakamura got knocked out by Ricochet off the top rope. This is where Shinsuke Nakamura off the top rope onto the apron, and he fell on the outside. This is where he got back on the apron. This is where he tried to run up and hit a left strike, but he got interrupted with a kick by Shinsuke Nakamura. This is where Ricochet tried to get back onto his feet, trying to go for some kind of Spanish fly maneuver, but Shinsuke Nakamura had a plan. He countered him. This is where he grabs onto his hand. This is where he hits That's where he hits him with a running Pele kick right off the top rope, and made him send him, and it was sent passing right, crashing right into the table, I should say. He had him sent. He hit him so hard he fell right through the table. I think he oversold that because he jumped as soon right after he got hit in the head. I was like, and if he really got to that point of falling, he would have gotten hit harder and got pushed off. But he pushed himself to make it more of an impact. As soon as he got hit right into the head with that Pele kick. I was like, wow, did he really oversell that like that? But this is where Shinsuke Nakamura wait for him to get his knee, get himself back up, knees up, hit him with the Kinshasa. 1, 2, 3. Shinsuke Nakamura wins this round. And do you think this rivalry is going to continue, or do you think it's gonna end right here? Y'all let me know down in the comments below. And I hope it doesn't end because it has so much potential it has plenty of potential of even headlining a pay-per-view, like a crown jewel event, for the next round, round 2 in their rivalry. Because both men deserves better treatment than they've been given ever since they've been on Raw programming from the past couple of months, of course. And he just lost to Seth freaking Rollins twice, so he needs to have a feud like this to bounce back off of and even win this feud. Maybe Ricochet should win at Crown Jewel, but Shinsuke Nakamura should win their final match into a trilogy of Ricochet against Nakamura, which I wouldn't say it's a trilogy, but I would say if it was with pay-per-views, then yeah. But yeah, y'all let me know about y'all's opinions of the matter, if it's going to continue or not in the comment section down below. Let's move on to the next news now. And before I get back here, before we get to the who you think, and if you do think that this rivalry is going to continue between Shinsuke and Nakamura, what kind of match stipulation will it be next? Since this match was a false count anywhere match, what do you think it should be next? Extreme Rules, Last Man Standing, Hell in a Cell, Steel Cage, ladder match even? I won't say ladder match. I would say perhaps a no holds barred match or anything of the sort, or do you think it's gonna be just a normal one-on-one competition on a pay-per-view? Yeah. Either way, y'all let me know down below. But anyway, this is where we got Kaden Carter and Katana Chance talking to Tegan Knox backstage with Nikki Cross on the top of top of one of the equipment boxes. This is where she started going back and forth, started doing this, going back and forth, started thinking about something insanity, or should I say sanity, of course. And no, this is not a reference to her old. It's not a reference to her old faction group from NXT, rather than just trolling to you guys, of course, if y'all want to say that, whoever y'all would say. But this is where Chelsea Green interrupts their conversation with them. And then this is where she started bragging to Tegan Knox, saying, hey, T. This is where she says right here. This was like, what do we have here? Like, it's the feud challenge. One half the women's tag team championship against Natalia. And she's like, speaking of Natty, like, where is she? Like, should she be around here somewhere? Like, getting ready for a match? Like, and shouldn't she be ready here and you help her prepare for her match? Like, well, I'm here to, like, and it's like, while we're here being the reigning defending tag team champions. And then this is where Tegan Knox was like, didn't Piper Niven make you, force to make you be her tag team partner? Like, ever since Sonya Deville's been out with her injury. And so she could be champion. That's what she said. And then this is where Kaden Carter and Katana Chance cracked a laugh. This is where Chelsea Green and Piper Niven gasped, like, how dare you, Tegan? And it's where Chelsea Green's like, I already tried to speak to Adam Pearce, but he's being so unfair as usual. And so Tegan, like, was it? Like, just don't cross me. Like, you better not cross me, or I'm gonna do to you like what my tag partner Piper here is gonna do to Natalia here tonight. And this is where Tegan Knox is like, look, Chels, like I never won the NXT Women's Championship. Like, he was like, and then he was like, and she was like, and this like, no, I would never ever disrespect you, Chels. Like, and then how quick do you hide behind if I smack you across the jaw? And this is where Katana Chance and Kaden Carr was like cracking up again. This is where. And then she was like, you're not going to do such a thing. And that's what she said, like, you're not going to do such a thing. And then you're not, are you lucky that, like, that's what she said, like you don't do such a thing and you're lucky. And then she couldn't come up with any excuse or reason why she wouldn't try to come back and try to say something insulting to her next. She was like, we just have things to do. Like, let's go, Piper. Like that's your best excuse of saying saying you got something to do. But what do you think about this storyline women's tag team feud between Natalia and Tegan Knox taking on Chelsea Green against Piper Niven for the women's tag team championships? Y'all let me know down in the comments below. But yeah. And who do you think is going to win the women's tag team championships? I think, on one hand, I believe at least Natalia and Knox will probably have at least one reign out of those tag team titles, which that'll make Natalia a two-time tag team champion, and then have Tegan Knox being the first ever. What are you doing with this right here? Anyways, here you go, Birdie Bird. Anyway, this is where. But yeah, this will be her first ever match, championship that she won in WWE if she did win the women's tag team championship with Natalia. But we'll talk about that more, whether if it's in the wrestling news or when it happens, or when it happens when they have the tag title opportunity. But for now, we're going to analyze on Chelsea Green and analyze what's going to happen into this match. Not Chelsea. With Chelsea Green being on the ringside with Piper Niven taking on Natalia, which this was hyped up since last week, like on to the last week's Raw, like for hyping up for this week on the season premiere, which I believe this is like from 2023 to 2024, I believe, WrestleMania season, I guess, for Monday Night Raw and Friday Night SmackDown, because this past Friday was the season premiere. And this is where we're going to start off this video. We got I was saying Natalia was really beating Piper Niven down. And even at one hand, she nearly put her down off her feet, trying to go for the cross shooter. But not the cross shooter, sharpshooter, my bad. That's how I guess the hybrid of sharpshooter and crossface. But there's no such thing as that unless Claudio Castagnoli or Claudio Castagnoli or Adam Copeland or The Rock comes up with a maneuver like that, or even Bryan Danielson or Uncle Dax Harwood, whoever inspired of doing the crossface or the sharpshooter. But we'll probably see that in the future of the cross shooter, like probably in the future in professional wrestling. Hey, maybe I should use that as my maneuver, like a signature, at least a signature maneuver under my arsenal. That doesn't really sound like a bad idea, but hopefully no one will steal it, or else they're gonna be sorry, because they're going to get the assassination of their lifetime. But enough about that. But anyway, this is where Piper Niven goes for, rolled it out of it into the most devastating move in all sports entertainment, this bronze roll up. But this is where Natalya kicks out. This is where both women get back up. This is where she hits a missile drop kick right onto the corner. This is where she pins Piper Niven, but she kicks out right at one even. This is where Natalya rolls out in the ring. This is where she gets back right onto the ropes. Piper Niven kick. This is where she tried to spear Piper Niven's and counter her attack on her, but she moved right onto the side, dodges the spear. She kicks her right into the head. This is where she grabs her right onto the apron. This is where she Irish whips her right onto the turnbuckle, but Natalya hits her right into the turnbuckle, and she hits her right to the other side of the turnbuckle into the bottom left corner, right after the bottom right corner. This is where Piper Niven hits her with a right strike right into the head. This is where she hits a crossbody splash right onto the Queen of Hearts. This is where Natalya was laying in a coma position, like if she just got hit into the coma of nowhere, I should say. But this is where Piper Niven puts Natalya back in the ring. This is where she this is where she was basically humiliating her into the ring, but this is where she hits her with a. This is where she hits her with I believe a power slam, but I believe Natalya, I believe that's when Natalya came back and hits the most comeback move in all sports entertainment, which is the crossbody maneuver. This is where she puts her in the crucifix pinfall maneuver. This is where the referee counted one. He counted two, but she kicks out. This is where she gets up into a sit-down position. This is where Natalya ran right to the ropes right behind her. She steps on her head, bouncing off them onto the canvas, something that she used to do with the former Naomi, which she's now known as Trinity Fatu. But she stubbed her right to the head. This is where she runs right to the ropes, right in front of Piper Niven. Just try to go for the clothesline. This is where Piper Niven pushed her legs out of the way. This is where Piper Niven try to go for the basement crossbody, because it looks like she's doing a crossbody right off the basement stairs. But Natalya rolled out of the way so she wouldn't do the what's that called? The basement crossbody. Yeah, that's what it's called. And then this is where Natalya goes for a super kick right into Piper's face. This is where she goes for twists her arm up, but that unsuccessfully did it with the arm side of things. But she did successfully hit her with the most devastating move in all sports entertainment, the surprise roll-up. But the referee counted the one, but he kicks out at 1.5 seconds. This is where both women get back up. And then Natalya hits a natty by nature out of nowhere right onto Piper. This is where she pins the Scottish bulldozer. I would call what's her name? This is where she the Scottish bulldozer. I call Piper Niven, I should say. This is where she kicks out of the maneuver. This is where Natalya was like damn it, and she was like, all right, come on, like let's get the shooting. This is where she tried to do the sharpshooter, but she was getting distracted by Chelsea Green, and then this is where Piper Niven kicks Natalya right onto kicks Natalya, which she landed right onto Chelsea Green onto the ropes, knocking Chelsea Green right off the apron. This is where but I think this was the worst selling I saw in professional wrestling from the from the former Impact star. This is where Natalya was way too distracted. This is where Chelsea Green's like, "You hit me in the nose." This is what Chelsea Green said. This is where Piper Niven slammed her back first. She was in a daze, sitting in a sit down position. This is where Piper Niven like that proven fact, I should say the proven fact statistic in professional wrestling. Like when your signature finishing move doesn't successfully execute the first time, it's going to be successfully execute the second time, a guarantee if you're lucky. But anyways, this was the case for Piper Niven because she slammed. Natalya was in a dazing situation. She was in a sit-down position. This is where she got hit with the basement crossbody right on the Piper Niven. 1, 2, 3. Piper Niven's the winner. This is where Chelsea Green was very mad because she went back in the ring. She did a post-match beatdown with Piper Niven and started double teaming Natalya. This is where Tegan Knox came out. Natalya had enough. She shoves and strikes Chelsea Green, but she started getting outnumbered and mugged by Piper Niven, and Chelsea Green got back in the match, hit in a double team position. This is where Tegan Knox come in for the save, looking like herself when she made her return to WWE back in 2020 at the end of 2022 when she came for the aid of against Damage Control for, I believe it was Candice LeRae. But this was like very similar from that case, like when she made her return back in 2022 in a big way, and it was the same way she get with the same gear that she did it in. This is where she hits a forearm right into. No, it wasn't Damage Control. It was Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler when they're trying to outnumber Emma, I believe. Yeah, and this is where Tegan Knox coming for the save. But this is where she starts. This is where she hits a forearm strike right onto Chelsea Green, right, and that sent her packing into the outside. This is where she started hitting strikes and punches right onto Piper Niven. When Piper Niven trying to do the same, doing a hit like. Fists were flying. This is where Natalya joined in and started double teaming on Piper Niven, beating her down, and they double Irish whipped her right into the top rope corner, tried to do a double running slamming maneuver. But this is where Piper Niven was smart, hang on to the ropes, rolled on the outside, and got out of there with her tag partner Chelsea Green. And it looks like it's kind of confirmed that. This is going to be a tag team feud and over for those tag team straps, but they haven't confirmed when they're going to have those tag team championships be on the line. But they're probably going to have a future tag team match to see what the results are going to be in the near future into this storyline. But when they're going to have their tag team title opportunity, y'all let me know down in the comments below. But anyway, this is where we move on to Damian Priest talking to Finn Balor about like he did not appreciate what JD McDonough did last week, and then Finn Balor agrees like, yeah, I understand you, man. And then Damian Priest like, right. And then we see what Drew did. Like I'll be lying if I say if I feel a little bit bad. I believe that's what Damian Priest said. Let's see.
They didn't go in depth like interviews, but they did talk about
it. That's what he said. Like he's like, I know, like I appreciate what, like, but even though JD McDonough drove me crazy, and I know he's trying to join the Judgment Day and all. And Finn Balor's like, yeah, I understand. And I'll be lying if I say I feel a little bit. I'll be lying if I said that I feel a little bit bad, and I think tonight at the season premiere, the Judgment Day need to take out Drew McIntyre. We need to show the world what happens to you. And this is what Finn Balor's like, exactly. And then Dominic Mysterio's like, and this is where Dominic Mysterio tried to talk him out of it, saying like, no, I don't think you should take out Drew McIntyre. And then this is where Damian Priest's like, yo, dog, like, are you serious right now? And it looks like he wants him to join the Judgment Day. And even if Drew McIntyre does turn heel, I don't think he's going to join the black and purple Gothic group, because he looks like more like a solo badass on his own heel side. Like, he's not going to get involved with neither the baby faces or the heels. Like, even he's got his gimmick as a baby face for now, but temporarily until he turns heel, he's probably going to keep it that way. Like, he's going to be on his own. He's going to be a solo kind of guy. But anyway, this is where Rhea Ripley came in. He's like, hey, what up, guys? Like, what y'all talking about? They were saying hi, like, we're talking some business about what we're gonna put the Judgment Day, of what we need to put back in order. And it's just like, and this is Rhea Ripley's like, the Judgment Day business, I handle Drew. You trust me, yeah? You trust me here, right? Like, this was like, yeah, I trust you. And he's like, I hope you guys are more than prepared of winning back y'all's tag team champions. And Finn Balor's like, yeah, we are totally more than prepared for tonight's match. And he's like, we're gonna take care of Cody and Jay tonight. Are you prepared for your match against Shayna Baszler tonight? And then this is where Shayna Baszler says, and he's like, don't worry about me. Like, I got this. And I'm going to remind my division that who's the one on top on this brand. And then that's going to start by taking out Baszler. And then, I'm going to remind of the rest of the women into the locker room who runs this division on Raw. And then this is where she does the fist bump on both Priest, Balor, and her precious Dom-Doms. And then this is where we go right to Seth freaking Rollins, like, into his segment, cutting a promo about Drew McIntyre, because he is the next opponent for his World Heavyweight Championship. And then let's see right here what Seth Rollins exactly said.
With your fruit snacks. And
then this is where he tells the Oklahoma City fans that he's a little confused that Dominic Mysterio, coming and flying with the money break contract. Like, when Drew McIntyre, like, he just threw it right out there and doesn't do nothing about it when I'm getting mugged by Damian Priest. And all he did is just Glasgow Kiss headbutt what's his name? Dominic Mysterio, and tosses the briefcase up into the 10 feet or 20 feet in the air. And I'm still being and then it's been a little weird, like, and I feel a little weird, and I got a lot of questions about the guy that I can't answer, when last week when Damian Priest nearly cashed in, but I think Drew McIntyre helped him out, Seth Rollins with that, but that's when they got in the way with Drew, like, in his side of things, whatever goes on his business, his side of the business, but not, and you don't want to get involved with nobody else's business and shenanigans. But anyway, this is where Seth Rollins says that I'm the answer champ. Drew McIntyre is the only person that can answer those exact questions. Like, so Drew, get out here and answer these kind of questions. And this is an invitation while I'm giving out here. Will you please come out here right now and join us and on the season premiere of the Red Brand Monday Night Raw. Well, he just said Monday Night Raw. But this is where laugh like, ha. And then this is where Drew McIntyre gladly came out here. This is where he answered his question by saying, let's see right here. He's like, yeah, I said, well, I want you close to the 100, but I want you up to 100% as much as possible as you can, so I can show the world that I can beat you, like I said what I'm going to do, and take that World Heavyweight Championship off you. And then he's like, and then right in the middle of the ring, you're going to get jumped, all right, but. And he's like, and buddy, I'm not going to babysit you for the next couple of weeks, like. And then this is where everyone's like, ha, like, yeah, very funny, Drew. Bro, Drew, I appreciate that. You're very kind of you. Like last week, and he's like, but there's one thing I must ask you that I've proven in the past few months. It's just that I can handle my business all on my own. He's like, but the question is I have for you tonight is, are you handling your business on your own, or are you listed a little help on right behind you, sneaking out of nowhere? And this is what Drew McIntyre said. Like, there's one thing that you should know that, and that's Drew McIntyre handles his own business. And clearly, as you can see, and you can take you can tell what it is, buddy. And he's like, oh, yeah, you see, like he's like, oh, like you are you trying to are you you're trying to put the wool over my eyes, but I know that you're not completely honest with me. Like, and I'm gonna roll the footage right here, which was the footage of him talking to Rhea Ripley, which and he's like, and I see Adam Pearce like having a conversation with Ricochet, and then this was been pointed out by plenty of people on YouTube about Drew McIntyre talking to Rhea Ripley. But let's hope that he's not really joining the Judgment Day. I'm not sure if I would like to see him be in the Judgment. What he will be doing on there at all, like other than being their new leader, of course, or whatever. I'll say. It was supposed to be Finn Balor replacing Edge, but since he joined, it looked like he's just being a tag team with Damian Priest. Like, they try to find a male leader, and they try to do that with Dirty Doms, but he just looks like the sidekick mid-Carter, I should say, the sidekick mid-Carter. But anyways, this is where he started talking, and I was like, and this is where us YouTubers like, is this part of the show? Is this all part of the show, or is it just something off script, like something that was not supposed to be seen on camera? But what y'all think? Y'all let me know down in the comments below. Like, do you think this was not supposed to happen, and they improvised it with this being all part of the storyline about him having any associations with the Judgment Day? Or do you think that this is part of the show, and this is they're thinking about teasing an alliance with him? With having him being a part of the alliance of the Judgment Day. But anyways, I want y'all to be the judge of that. This is where he showed them out talking to the Women's World Championship. And then this is where, and it's like, this looks very Scottish to me. Like, that, yeah, and he's like, care to elaborate, Drew? And Stephon start cracking up. And this is where Drew McIntyre's like, all right, first of all, I'm not a thirsty creep like Jey Uso, and she came to me. I was like, yeah, of course, because I don't think he's into women that dyes their hair completely black and look like a gothic troublemaker in college, of course. But anyways, I was like, yeah, and besides, he's already Medi regardless. Like, but anyways. He's like, first of all, like Jey Uso, which the teasing the love triangle between Jey Uso, Dominic Mysterio, and Rhea Ripley, but which I don't think that's the case, because Jey Uso, I can think of two reasons why he's not into Rhea Ripley right now. Like at this point, at least in the, I'll say both in the reality side of things and the kayfabe side of things, I can think of two reasons why. But this is where Drew McIntyre said. And again, second of all, like he was like, and she like, but he's like, yeah, Rhea came to me, and second of all, this is none of your business. And what goes around with me and the Judgment Day, like worry about anything in the world is that I'm not worried about any of them, because I'm only caring about what Drew McIntyre thinks and what he wants, and that is taking you down for the World Heavyweight Championship. And taking that around your waist. And this was Stephon. I was like, oh, okay. Thank you for clearing up all the confusion right here. Since you cleared that up, like, let me tell you, let me be clear to you that nobody is going to take this title off of my waist, especially you, Drew. And then this is where Stephon's like, yeah, I get it, man. Like, I get it. I've been messing up with your head, same with the judge. Up right in the head, haven't you? haven't they? Like you had big matches, you had the championship, and then he's like, and what did Seth Rollins say? Like he said, he's like for the past couple years of not being the champion, like. You had big opportunity. You had a lot of big matches, and then, especially when you needed success, you had a lot of big failures after no longer being WWE champion. And he's like, and it's just by failure, man, you been a little side help with the Judgment Day, perhaps. That's all it's gonna be when we have our match. And he's like, see, that's not gonna work out like that way. See, the thing is, dealing with the Judgment Day is a very huge slippery slope that you do not really want to be down with, or that you don't want to go down with, I should say. Drew McIntyre's. This is where Drew McIntyre's like, I hear you sounding a little rattled right now, like. I remember the last time when we was the world title match, and I beat your ass. I was like, yeah, that's true. Unfortunately, it was a shame that there was no fans and being in presence, because everybody was staying at home at the time, because this was back in May of 2020 when they were still at the Performance Center and they had to do their shows there, like their pay-per-view shows, Raw, SmackDown, even NXT. Like they had to do it at the PC because no one wasn't allowed to be attendance as a fan because of the COVID-19 pandemic crisis. But yeah, it's a shame that we haven't seen it. But we possibly could see him battling off and trying to do it again, except this time it'd be him dethroning the Visionary. But anyways, this is where Drew McIntyre's like all those matches with the Judgment Day, and then the big matches that I lost, like including against Roman Reigns, and you put this in my eye. The fear is with the Miz and the low blows and the bloodline, and he's like, and then this is where Seth Rollins like, oh God, shut up, you shut your mouth about the bloodline already. And then this is like when you get very frustrated, getting annoyed, like for God's sake, man, like you're gonna move on. The bloodline is clearly has moved on for you, and you're no longer have any associations or any have anything to do with them anymore. Like they're a totally another brand ever since you moved over here to the Red Bear. Like even before you even moved here, like you've been all over with. This is what Seth Rollins was like. You're talking about respect, Drew. You need to get over it, Drew. Like your rivalry with the bloodline is over. And this is where Drew McIntyre's like, get over it, huh? Like, get over it. Like you're telling me to get up. Like you think you're the world champion, like and you have these fans singing your song, like yeah, like that's how you're telling me to get over it, like. The fans are whisperingly chanting, oh, and they start getting louder and louder. And they're like, yep, that one right there. I had to catch it. And then he's like, yeah, that's catchy, but I also had a catchy theme song, but I don't need that back to just to use that as a crutch. And then he's like, yeah, that's my dream. And yeah, that's my dream too. And I was like, yeah, like that song is very catchy. Like I play that all the time on my phone, to be honest, personally. Like because I just cannot get enough of that song. Like yeah, that's pretty good. I'll say, and don't get me wrong, I also listen to Seth Rollins' theme song, but I mostly listen to Drew McIntyre's old theme song because it reminds me back in the day when he was the chosen one back in the late 2000s, early 2010s, when he was the chosen one of Vince McMahon, like which he was very cool and very popular at the time, but he's more big and more cooler and more awesome as the Scottish Warrior. And I think he should bring that back, but not as a clutch, but it's just a catchy tune like that the fans would love to listen to when he makes his entrance. Like when they see him making his entrance every time he's wrestling in a match, like back in the good old days, like bring that back, like he did when he wrestled Roman Reigns last year, a mix. But even though it was a mix to his new theme song, like they play his theme song, this old theme song first, and then when he made his way to the ring, they started playing like when he was on his way to the ring. That's when they started making, they started turning to mixing it around to his theme music, which I have a video of him wrestling Roman Reigns, the full video, even though it's not with the entrance, but yeah, make sure y'all check that out. It's on this YouTube channel at Super Ninja Austin 213. But anyways, that's where Drew McIntyre also said, he's like, when I achieved that dream at WrestleMania, where I beat Brock Lesnar in 5 minutes, there was nobody there. It was some tough time for me in this company, like in the world of the pandemic, like someone to step up, and Drew McIntyre stepped up, and I improvised. And the fans started clapping, like, yeah, that's true. And Drew McIntyre's like, after this, everybody's back. Like, moment that pat, now I'm trying to bet my bottle into the second time in the UK in Cardiff against Roman Reigns, which, like I said, which I have a video of that, like me showing that onto recording that on this very phone last year, live on Peacock, which they were live in Cardiff, Wales for Clash at the Castle, which that was a very entertaining match. Like, even though it was a shame that Drew McIntyre got screwed out of the match with Solo Sikoa dragging the referee out, because he was 0.1 second away from defeating Roman Reigns. Let me tell you about that. And this is what Roman Reigns like. This is what Drew, like, I just screw my, like, the bloodline. So quick. Like, I'm over so quick. It'll be a third time. Lighten this up in the ball. Like, you need to think more and hard how you're gonna reinvent yourself, and then for the third time when I beat you in that match and over a crown jewel in Saudi Arabia. And as Drew McIntyre looked down, he started shaking his head, like, he said, Drew, like, nobody understands what you're going through right now better than I do right now. Like, I know how difficult it would be to get yourself back to the top of the mountain into the main event. Now, I speak for you, digging and fighting and clawing to be back in the top of that mountain. And I was like, yeah, it really had, because the last time you were a heavyweight champion, it didn't work out the way it was planned to be, because you were supposed to be the workhorse top babyface champion at that year, but fortunately you bounced back of finding yourself as a heel, and then you eventually turned back into a babyface, which I believe was at the end of 2022 or 2023. Either way, like, he turned back. It's where, like, it was like, yeah, like around there, and he finally turned back into a babyface, and then this is where he finally gets the opportunity of a lifetime after beating Logan Paul for the World Heavyweight Championship and win the World Heavyweight Championship, beating Logan Paul, and then also a month later at the end of May in Night of Champions, and he becomes the World Heavyweight Champion. And then this is where Seth Rollins was like, I'm not hearing from you right now. There's a bunch of excuses of why you can't be successful here with these people, and you're making excuses. I promise you this right here, that I'm gonna take you somewhere. I'm gonna take you somewhere that you want to go. Now I'm gonna beat you, but I'm gonna beat you at Crown Jewel, and I'm gonna tell you I'm gonna be the better man, and I'm gonna get the best of you. And he's like, and the first time in a long time, you have nobody to blame but yourself. And then I was like, I'll say he may be true on that line, but we're going to see who's going to walk out of Saudi Arabia at Crown Jewel even as the big gold strap, which is the World Heavyweight Championship. And who do you think is going to win? Do you think Drew McIntyre's finally going to be heavyweight champion with a live crowd and do so by dethroning the inaugural reboot of the World Heavyweight Champion? or do you think Seth Rollins going to retain and have a most legendary reign and the most incredibly fantastic what's that? And I'll say tremendous. I'll say the most tremendous and stupendous reign as champion. I'm gonna let y'all to be the judge of that in the comment section down below. But yeah, this is the first match that's been announced. I believe second to LA Knight taking on Roman Reigns for the Universal Championship. Hopefully you guys will be watching the show like me, and I'm gonna be recapping at the beginning of November. It's gonna be my third ever premium live event. No, my third ever. My fourth ever. My apologies. My fourth ever premium live event review, which is probably gonna be kind of exciting. But this is where we got Big Bronson Reed in a hype video about talking about like Gunther didn't had it hard like he had where he got his start being in WWE and it's so and he's like if someone disrespects me, like he takes care of them. Like if they challenge him, like he breaks them in half. And then truly, like the spectacle of this match is what's needed to keep this order. Like and he said not to impress, but the brutal reminder to my opponents. Where they show a hype video of him doing senton tsunamis right onto his opponents, like with the likes of Chad Gable, Otis, Ricochet, and even Akira Tozawa and Austin Theory. And then this is where we do have the match for the Intercontinental Champion. Not the Intercontinental Champion. No, that's after. That's up next. But we do have a match. But this is where we have the match with Ludwig Kaiser taking on Johnny Gargano. This is his return to the ring, of course. This is where Johnny Gargano is getting the offense onto Ludwig Kaiser. This is where he throws him in the outside. This is where he hits him with a suicide dive, which he slowly went to the ground. This is where Johnny Gargano spin around. This is where he points out to Giovanni Vinci, like, you better stay in your lane. I don't need that interference I don't need that kind of interference right now. And I don't need to be putting up with you while I'm putting up with him at the same time. This is where he takes it off his shirt. This is where he throws it onto Giovanni Vinci. This is where he gets up right. It's back in the ring. This is where Ludwig Kaiser tried to go for a clothesline. He ducks. He goes for another duck. This is where he tried to go for a spear or some kind of a flying attack move. This is where he gets kicked in the midsection, make Johnny Gargano flip into a 130, I should say, or I'll say or 80. I'll say 130 or 80, yeah. But anyways, he made him do that. And he did a side kick right into Johnny Gargano's back. This is where he throws him right onto Rita the ring post from the inside and throw him on the outside, shoulder first right into Rita the ring post. This is where he tried to get him back up. This is where he tried to run and attacks him. He gets kicked right in the face by Johnny Gargano. This is where he tried to go for a kick, goes for a kick move right to the corner. This is where he gets intercepted by Ludwig Kaiser with a step up Mr. This is where he pushes Gargano, try to go for a spear right through the bottom right corner of Tina the Turnbuckle. This is where Johnny Gargano counters, look like he's going for a sunset flip, but he turns around, goes onto the ropes, and he did CM Punk's old signature move, which was a reverse triangle choke on like a triangle lock right onto his right between his arms and shoulders, like squeezing his shoulders and arms, and with them tied against the ropes, or should I say tangled between the ropes, and then on the top and middle rope, he starts squeezing them like if he was doing some kind of a reverse headlock, like with him going forward rather than back, of course. This has to be some kind of a reference to CM Punk that he's going to return to WWE, because Like coincidence, like I'll say it'd be one thing with Corey Graves saying catchphrases on movies that CM Punk said in his Ring of Honor days, and it's good, and fans take it out of context. But having Shinsuke Nakamura doing "Go to Sleep," even though Hideo Itami did that move, and he's Japanese too, and then it came from Japan. Originally came from Japan, and even Hideo Itami said he's the one that started the "Go to Sleep" thing before CM Punk did in WWE. Like, because he started in Japan, and even though he did it after CM Punk and WWE, and I was like, wow, like I didn't know that, because I thought Hideo Itami, which he's now going by Kenta in New Japan Pro Wrestling, he said he started that move to go to sleep. But I was like, yeah, maybe that's a near coincidence. But with Johnny Gargano doing that head choke lock, like with his legs between his arms, like maybe he's been inspired by CM Punk by doing that maneuver, but it looks way too similar to what CM Punk would done, like back in his old days when he was when he used to have his hair and he was the straight edge baby face that was the world heavyweight champion back in 2008. Like it looked very similar to that, like which we're gonna probably see more of explanations into the following weeks. But anyway, this is where Johnny Gargano, this is where Ludwig Kaiser got out of it somehow. This is where Johnny Gargano tried to go for a springboard maneuver, but he gets intercepted by Ludwig Kaiser with a sharp uppercut right over the top rope. This is where he failed right into the apron. This is where he clotheslined him when he got back up. This is where he turns him around. This is where he puts his arms onto the ropes on the outside of the apron. This is where he tried to go for maneuver like Sheamus, the 10 beats to the brawling. This is where Ludwig Kaiser said, you know what? I have a better idea. Then he hits a running striking European uppercut right off the apron, fell right into to Barry Barricade, landed back first into his back in the back of his head. He started grabbing onto his head so bad to the point like he was on the ground kicking and then grabbing onto his head like he looked like he was probably legitimately injured with a concussion, which I don't think he is. Maybe bruised up. Hopefully that's the case. But this is where they got back in the ring. This is where he had him in a Cobra Clutch headlock. This is where Johnny Gargano tried to hit him with right hands. This is where Ludwig Kaiser tried to hit a forearm strike, but Johnny Gargano hits him with beats him to it with his forearm of his own. But he got kneed right into the mistake. He tried to Irish whip Johnny Gargano. Johnny Gargano counters right into the top left corner turnbuckle. Top left corner turnbuckle. Hits him face first right into the middle buckle pad. This is where Ludwig Kaiser said, where am I? Like, what day is it? It was like in a cuckoo. It was probably cuckooing with 10 different Gunthers spinning around his head. This is where Ludwig Kaiser tried to go direct with Johnny Gargano. He's like, oh yeah, I need to beat Johnny to impress my dad Gunther. This is where he tried to go for Johnny Gargano. He gets elbow. This is where he tried to go for another attack. I bet he was double cursed for doing lower minor move sets because he got dodged twice, 2 in a row. This is where he bounced the front body first right into the ropes. This is where Johnny Gargano flips him over into a schoolboy position. Do a slow but surely spinning a spinning wheel, a lower spinning wheel Insta-Giri kick. This is where Ludwig Kaiser went to the bottom left corner of the Tina the turnbuckle. This is where Johnny Gargano hit that knife edge chop right onto the Ludwig Kaiser. Irish whip right to the corner. This is where he flipped. This is where Johnny runs right onto Kaiser, but he got flipped over. Get hit with the step up Insta-Giri by Johnny Gargano, and Johnny Gargano did the springboard spear right off the top part of the apron of the ring. This is where Johnny Gargano got back up, started hyping up, saying like, "Yeah, this is Johnny Wrestling's time to shine." And then this is where Johnny Wrestling got onto the mid ropes. This is where he hits a mid rope facebuster majig, like boom, where he landed right onto him, looking like little Jimmy. This is where he pins Kaiser. He got pinned for This is where he pins with one. He got the two, but he kicks out at 2.3 seconds. This is where Ludwig Kaiser got back up. This is where he started chopping Johnny Gargano. I bet this is like the only guy that Gunther's not envious, but rather proud, because obviously he's teaming with him. This is where he started continuing. He started getting more proud and impressed. This is where Gunther even complimented him on that of doing that. But we're going to talk about that more after this match. This is where Ludwig Kaiser puts him right into the corner, start punching him. They're like, you're asking for Johnny. This is where Johnny Gargano grabs onto his hands, flips out right off the top rope under his legs. This is where he puts his head right onto the turnbuckle pad, right under his legs, like right under Kaiser's legs, like into this position, like flipping over with him being stuck right onto the top rope. This is where he gets super kicked right onto his head. You can hear the clicking right onto his forehead, like with him being touching his head, his head's touching his legs, I should say, and I don't know how I nearly rhymed there, but that makes sense. But this is where he flips him over in the sunset flip, which he turns into the most devastating move in all sports entertainment, the surprise roll up. This is where the referee counted one, the referee counted two, but he kicks out at 2.4 seconds. I was like, yeah, like I would say I expected to kick out, but if that was like a more devastating move, like you were expecting all them to kick out, but he probably would have kicked it out at that time. This is where Johnny Gargano was stepping onto Ludwig Kaiser. The referee was holding him back, saying like, "No, like calm down, Johnny. Like 1, 2, 3, 4." This is where Ludwig Kaiser got back in the ring, hits him with back in the mat, hits him with a striking uppercut. This is where he hits the Dream Valley Driver right onto Johnny Gargano. This is where he pins Johnny Gargano, but he got one, he got two, but he kicks out at 2.5 seconds. This is where he tried to go for the hammerlock spinning DDT maneuver he came up with, like looking like Alexa Bliss's version of the Sister Abigail DDT mixed with Andrade's hammerlock DDT. But this is where Johnny Gargano got Irish whip. This is where he tried to close on him out there. This is where Johnny Gargano dodged and made him go over the top rope, crashing on the outside. This is where Giovanni Vinci like, are you okay? Like, are you okay? He was like, yo, are you okay, man? Like, and he was like, enough. Like, I don't need your help right now. This is where Johnny Gargano intercepts him as soon as he got in the ring. This is where he hits him with the springboard DDT right in the middle of the canvas. This is where Johnny Gargano pins, which is the final beat, of course. This is where he pins Ludwig Kaiser. He counts to one, the referee counts to two, and as soon as he tried to count to three, but so he got the three. This is where Giovanni Vinci put the legs on the ropes. He pointed the referees at his legs on the ropes, like, or not? No, it wasn't that. I must have mixed it up with something else. But anyways, no, he thumbed Johnny Gargano's eye, doing the most grandest and dirtiest trick in the professional wrestling and the sports entertainment business. I was like, really, like. Why'd you talk about this before, Gio? Like when y'all's genuine tag team matches. This is where Johnny Gargano's like, what the hell? Did he really just do that? Like, okay, he asked for it. This is where Johnny Gargano looking at him like, it was clear it was him. Like, who else could it possibly be? This is where he hits a flying forearm right onto Giovanni Vinci, hitting his bald head face first right into the announcer's table. Hopefully I didn't offend my homeboy Simon Miller by saying his bald head. I better watch what I say because I don't want to be on his bad side, like into the bald community. I totally respect the bald community. It's not like he asked that his hair fell out. Like it just happened, like accidents just happened. But anyways, this is where he throws Giovanni Vinci back in the ring, and then this is where Johnny Gargano was still distracted about his eye. But this is where he hits a step up Insta-Giri right onto. This is where he hits a step up Insta-Giri right onto This is where Ludwig Kaiser finally hits a step up Mr. Gary, intercepting Johnny Gargano, hitting his head in the process. He was like, ow, it gets worse. This is where he finally hits this hammerlock spin around DDT with the 1 and the 2 and the 3. And I was like, this is the rarest victory I've seen Ludwig Kaiser ever received. But they were teasing him at getting the singles push ever since last week, like when he was in that vignette, like about Ludwig Kaiser being on a solo run into his stay on Monday Night Raw, and also, what do y'all think about? I'll say, and also, it looks like we're going to continue this push until. Push for a little while, but I think DIY is going to get their opportunity to face these guys, and this is going to be their stepping stone into the main roster's tag team division of getting a win out of Ludwig Kaiser and Giovanni Vinci. And the best way to do it is to do it at the upcoming pay-per-view, like Crown Jewel, for an example. Like, you need to stack y'all's cards even more and not only do like 6 matches out of the pay-per-view. Like, you need to do a little more, like, especially when you're having y'all's biggest pay-per-views. Like, y'all should have at least 10 to 12 matches of big pay-per-view event. But yeah, and what do you think about this singles run with Ludwig Kaiser? And you think he's getting pushed? Y'all let me know down in the comments below. We're gonna move on to Becky Lynch getting ready to talk to Adam Pearce. And talk to not Adam Pearce, I say. This is where Indy Hart was like, respect, like, you like, when you're gonna recognize us to give us an opportunity for the NXT Women's Championship? That's what it said. Becky Lynch was walking. This is where Indy Hartwell came up and ran right into Becky. She was complaining about the fact that she was complaining about the fact that you're saying about respect and about you're gonna defend those championships to anybody that deserves an opportunity. What about us? Like, we've been trying to. When you get including me, like where you get, we're probably gonna get the opportunity with me. Like I never lost that title. Like, yeah, but when you had the opportunity, you didn't really went through according to plan. Like, things didn't went according to plan, I should say, and you didn't really. Everything didn't came through as the way you expected it to come, and even though it's very unfortunate, but it's the fact, and you unfortunately didn't get the win, Indy, like, of normal contenders match against her at Halloween Havoc. But Becky Lynch was like, no, man, like, I could just talk to Adam Pearce, and when she was like, oh, you want to be a fight champion, and you want to be, and you being a fight champion, and you want to maintain as that, and he's like, I know, but you've been, if you want to, I always want to fight you. How about that I make this official when I talk to Adam Pearce right now? And then, and y'all were like, wow, like, now she's really the man. And this is where she turned around. She bumped into Rhea Ripley face to face. And then it was like, and Becky was like, oh yeah, whether if I'm still this championship or not, by the time I cross paths with you again, that championship is gonna also be mine too. Which I believe is probably gonna be WrestleMania, or then again it could be a Raquel or a Liv Morgan, but it looked like we will have this opportunity, but it'll probably be at the beginning of 2021. And when do you think we're gonna see that match with Rhea Ripley defending the Women's World Championship against Becky Lynch? Y'all let me know down in the comments below. We're gonna move on to the next segment, which is let's see. This is where Drew McIntyre went back. This is where we got Drew McIntyre backstage. This is where Sami Zayn was like, hey, come here, Drew. And this is where Drew McIntyre's like, hey, you want to talk to me? Like, he's like, yeah, you were doing the right thing, and you were doing the right thing. Last week between me and Jey Uso right there, breaking us up, despite that fact, like you interviewed, he was like, but yeah, you interfered between my business and Jey Uso's business, and then you left the bloodline, and also. And then I was apprehensive person, like the boy with the back were also apprehensive about what was up with Jey Uso, and you stepped up and then you did everything. You did everything what was good and better for what's around here. And he's like, thank you. And this is where Sami Zayn was like, thank you very much for telling me that straight up to my face and being honest to me. And then this is where Drew McIntyre's like, but I couldn't help but know, and he's like, I also allegedly want to talk to you about what I saw earlier, and that was who instantly forgave Jay, like Cody Rhodes, you should do the exact same opposite, Jey Uso did the exact same opposite when he was still with the bloodline, and he was the right hand man of the tribal chief, and then the bloodline, and he's like, you just here instantly expect a forgiveness, trust from everybody. You gave it to him. You just gave it to him while deserving it and giving no reason for it. And this is where Sami Zayn was like, look, I'm sorry. I don't want to get in the middle of whatever you got going on with Seth. But one thing he said might be right about, but you need to keep this bloodline stuff right behind you. That was in the past. Just let it go. And that's not the issue at this time. Look. Now, I don't know what the bloodline, but Jay did everything he can just to make everybody believe him and instantly forgive him. And that's the point. And that's the point of him coming. And that's the point of him coming back. That's the point of him. Not coming. That's the point of him of being forgiven and shown that he's a changed man and he's not like what he once was with the bloodline. And I know you don't buy. You're the only one that doesn't buy. And he's like, no, I don't. I talk the same to one person to another. Between the bloodline can be high. I can understand. I can relate on that. I can relate. And this is what Drew McIntyre, you can relate. Yeah, I can relate. And Drew McIntyre, okay, you can relate to Drew McIntyre then. And no offense for you, and no disrespect. And then he's like, I cannot believe that you never ever been a world champion in your career here. I don't can't pressure that bridge. And then the way you're going, you have people looking at you, and you have trust in everybody. You're chasing the win. You're not gonna be a future world champion by acting like that. And he's like, but true, if there's any down your mind level, no matter I'm at, that you can find out for yourself in the middle of that ring. One-on-one against me next week. And Drew McIntyre loved the sound of that. He's like, okay, you better be careful what you ask for. But I'll see you next week. And he patted him right in the back, stormed out of there. And I was like him with this unforgiving gimmick, it's very interesting and very peculiarly promising, I should say, in a way that's gonna possibly gonna turn him into a potential heel that does not believe in forgiveness. At least in a point that for those that didn't even earn their forgiveness, but I believe Jey Uso did by proving that he's no longer like his time as the bloodline. And I would agree with Seth that you need to let go of what happened to the what going on with the bloodline. That was in the past, and not dwelling on what happened in the past, that ship that already been sailed, like a little bit a year ago, with you against Roman Reigns and the Usos and whatnot, and who do you think's gonna win? Which I think y'all already guessed between Sami Zayn and Drew McIntyre. It's like when Drew McIntyre was the babyface and Sami Zayn was the heel back a year or two ago, but But yeah, I'll say, but he's not going to be like a squash match. I think Sami Zayn's going to give him a fight of his career in recent time, and he's going to. But despite all that, Drew McIntyre's going to get him on the blind side, and Claymore kick him for a 1-2-3. But I would love to hear y'all's predictions of that match next week on Raw, which I'm going to analyze that. And it's going to be part 11 of my SNA podcast review. But this is where Sami Zayn's like, oh, brother, like, what I got myself into. And this is where Wade Barrett was going super Mark fanboy with Drew McIntyre of him facing Sami Zayn. And he was begging and enthusiastically begging Adam Pearce to make the match official, which it was official, which I don't blame him because I'm a true Drew McIntyre fanboy, along with Sami Zayn as well, because these guys are well talented. I think both of these men are going to be world champion. Despite what Drew McIntyre said, he's not going to be future world champion. I think he's going to prove Drew McIntyre wrong that he will be world champion. It may not be this year, it may not be today, it may not be tomorrow, but it will be soon in the future. Like he proved the bloodline wrong when he became the undisputed tag team champions. But this is where we have the NXT Women's Championship rematch. No, not really. It was This is where this is like not really. It was Rhea Ripley taking on Shayna Baszler in a non-title match. But before that, the match, like these women like Raquel and Nia and Shayna, they trying to prove how tough they are. And also, I have Nia Jax, Raquel Rodriguez, and Shayna Baszler. Like all of them asking for trying to prove that they're the baddest one here in the WWE. Trying to see they could be a better women's world champion. When the reality is that this is my division with this women's world championship, and mommy will always be on the top. And this when Shayna Baszler finally came out for the match for the women's world. Not women's world, and probably some kind of a non-title contenders match to show that she deserves the women's championship match. And this is where we have them going at it, going back and forth. And then at one hand, this is where we have Rhea Ripley try to attempt to go for the riptide. Let's see. Let's see. But I think this was Shayna Baszler rolled out of it and turned into a cross armor, right? Got it locked in. This is where Rhea Ripley picks her up into a triangle reversal power bomb, which she successfully did. Both women were down. Shayna Baszler, Nia Jax tried to come in the ring. This is where Raquel Rodriguez came and stopped her, tried to hit. She came from behind, attacks her. She tried to hit her with a right hand, but she got blocked by Nia Jax, got hit with the most devastating headbutt I saw from a women's wrestler. But I think she hurt herself even in the process. And I want to ask Nia right here. No wonder the great one hates you right now. Why would you put lip gloss on Simon Miller's lips? And even though he didn't mind it, that's kind of awkward. Anyways, just joking, by the way. But anyway, this is where Zoe Stark came out of nowhere looking like those inspectors, like that were those inspector guardians that were like these guardian enforcers that on those Butterfingers commercials that say don't lay a butter on my Butterfinger. Zoe Stark looked like some kind of a bodybuilding version of those guardian enforcers from the Butterfinger commercials that teleports everywhere to stop the Butterfinger bandits. But yeah, this is where she came out. Hits a rolling senton dive right onto the outside. This is where she started nailing right hands right onto Nia Jax's head to make her head even more painful. This is where Raquel Rodriguez got her off her, picked her up, and I was like, Raquel, like, why you have to slam her right now? Like, why don't you at least wait for her to get done to knock her out and hit her with her finishing move, which I'm not sure if she would hit the Z360, but she could probably try to do so. But this is where Raquel Rodriguez picks her up, threw her like about 7 feet in the air, and had her land right onto the former Barry Barricade. God bless his soul. But anyway, this is where she Irish whips Zoe Stark into the ring. Raquel Rodriguez looked around every fan in the arena. She looked back into Nia Jax. She's like, I'm not quite finished with you, Nia. And she hits her with a big boot that I thought she would never do to Nia Jax. Like, I know she would bring her down. Like, I would expect a Vahana bomb, but she hit the biggest dominating boot that I have ever seen her do in her wrestling career. This is where Raquel was like, yeah, started screaming. This is where she went like a bull, kick her legs back. She tried to charge right onto Nia Jax, but she missed just by an inch when Nia Jax moved out of the way. She hit her head right onto the symbol of the steel steps. This is where Rhea Ripley gets back up when Zoe Stark right in the corner. This is where she did that swinging kick right into her head, intercepting her when she tried to attack her with a spear right into the corner. This is where the referee automatically called for the bell, like to the bell keeper to ring the bell for an automatic disqualification, because this was a normal match, and Rhea Ripley win by this match, but via disqualification, I guess, to make both women strong, because now's not the time to pull the trigger for Rhea Ripley or Shayna Baszler to defeat one another by a pinfall. That remains to be seen, because they still need to continue to put their feud and see who's the biggest and baddest woman into the WWE division, which I'm not sure of any of these women. I'll say if it was in her NXT times, like in 2019, 2020, Rhea Ripley, I would say Rhea Ripley would be, but I'm not sure. Even for Shayna Baszler being babyface, I just think that she's talented and dangerous, like my dad said. She's like the female version of Kurt Angle. That's what I would give to her right there, like the most technical and brutally dangerous woman. I'll say now she's the more dangerous woman. I think she's more than her best friend Ronda Rousey is, in my opinion, of course. If you want to ask me about the comparisons, this is where Zoe Stark tried to go for. But anyway, this is where she tried to go for a striking close on her forearm right onto Rhea Ripley. But Rhea Ripley put her into a back suplex face buster, having her crashing and landed right onto her new tag partner Shayna Baszler. This is where Rhea Ripley said, like, you think you can you like now oh brother, like you two are more like oh sister, if you want to refer to them as that. But anyways, this is where he's like oh brother, like you too, Zoe, like you want a piece of me too, like you think you're bigger and badder than me for my women's title, world's title. And then this is where Nia Jax is like, yeah, you Rhea, and it's just where Rhea Ripley's like, you think you're better than me? You think you're bigger than me, huh? Nia, like you think so? And then Nia Jax like, you think you're so bad. Like nobody's badder than the irresistible force. It's like, and then this is where Rhea Ripley's like, cross this line right here in the ring. Come on, like if you think you're badder than me and you're the more bigger and more horrifying woman into this division, like cross this line. And this is where I get what you're looking for, Nia. Like I get what you've been waiting for the past weeks, if not months, if not a month. Like get in like now. Like this is when Nia Jax got in the ring. He was like, this is where she started. This is where she tried to attempt to go for a close on to Rhea Ripley. This is where she got intercepted in a super kick by Zoe Stark. And then she turned around. Rhea Ripley waited for her to hit the big, most dominating headbutt that a woman has ever done. This is where Zoe Stark hit the swinging roundhouse kick. Rhea Ripley tried to go for a fallaway slam to Nia Jax, but she got but she got cut off by Zoe Stark with a running missile drop kick right onto her, landing back first. This is where Zoe Stark starts screaming like, ah! Like, that's what I'm talking about. That's who I am. And this is where she super kicks Nia Jax out of the ring. This is where Zoe Stark's like, yeah, not so tough, huh? That's what she said. Like, yeah, you stay out of there. And this is where she turned around. This is where Rhea Ripley is still laying down in a vulnerable position. And this is where Zoe Stark was like, yeah, like number one woman standing here. And she was breathing her breath. And this is where she was like, yeah, like I'm coming after you next. Which we'll probably see. This is going to be some kind of a 4-way or 5-way, probably by Crown Jewel, to make this the biggest show of the year with all their women's and all the men's and women's heavyweight championships being on the line, and some big marquee feuds going to be in the Saudi Arabia event. But this is where Becky Lynch had the Raw women's, not Raw, but the NXT Women's Champion Becky Lynch was backstage with Adam Pearce. The sell things with a match with her and Indy Hartwell. And he was like, so you want this match, huh? Like, so I'll tell you what, next Monday night, right here on Raw, it'll be Lynch and Indy Hartwell for that NXT Women's Championship. Okay. Like, it'll be a 2 out of 3 falls match. Well, 2 out of 3s. It was like, next Monday night, right here, Raw will be Becky Lynch and NXT Women's Championship. And it, not 2 out of 3. Becky Lynch was like, yeah, I love that. And then this is where Adam Pearce was like, yeah, I love that too. I must have heard that. He's like, and he's like, okay, and I'm gonna make sure I check that out with Shawn Michaels and make that official. And before he get finished his catchphrase official, this is where Xia Li was like, Becky, what about my shot for the NXT Women's Championship? Which this is probably gonna be her new gimmick that she's finally gonna get. That she's gonna be trying to get an opportunity for the NXT Women's Championship, but it's gonna be hell and back before she gets that championship opportunity. Like, she'll probably be the final last woman, but not in a bad way, but in a good way. And she'll be winning some and losing some there, and then when she gets the opportunity, she'll be so close of winning the NXT Women's Championship. But I think Becky Lynch will finally get an opportunity, and she'll probably get an opportunity. She's gonna win the Women's World Championship, but she's gonna come up short though, and Becky Lynch is gonna stay, and she's gonna stay as NXT Women's Champion. But yeah, that's not the only surprise that Becky Lynch had, like, coming straight into her face, or comes before her very eyes, I should say. And then this is where Xia Li, I should say, Xia Li kind of got pissed off, and she was like, first it was Tegan Knox, now Indy Hartwell. You was even gonna give him shots. Like, what about Xia now? And Becky was like, oh, we got 2 competitors. Like, you just need to say the word, like I always say. And then this is where Xia Li was like, okay, I will, on my time only. And you're like, I see you around, like, this week looking on. And then this is where Becky Lynch was like, wow, like everybody wants a piece of you when you're in a man. And then it's like, he's like, yeah, I agree. Like, speaking of that, and then this is where another surprise was, and that woman was none other than the newcomer, Jade Cargill. And then they're doing a really good job on seeing where she's gonna be at next. Like, she could be either, like, teasing it, like she could be on NXT, like last Tuesday on the Tuesday Night War edition of NXT, when she was outside in the parking lot when she got out of her SUV, or she could be on SmackDown when she was head-to-head, face-to-face with Charlotte Flair. And then now this week on tonight's Monday Night Raw, she was face-to-face with Becky Lynch, teasing that she wants a shot at their NXT Women's Championship. But it's been noted on that interview that Rhea Ripley had from from the Sports News Australia interview that like she'll be ready for her and she's gonna show her she's the one that's running Raw. Well, at least at the moment, of course. But that's my. But I think that's what's gonna happen. She's gonna go to Raw. She's gonna go head to head. You're gonna put her in a match against Rhea Ripley. But I think they should. But I also think that they should slowly put her in that point, like facing women, like into matches, like to show how legitimately powerful and gifted that she is, and she'll do so, and then she'll get an opportunity against Rhea Ripley for that NXT women, not NXT. I'm thinking of Becky Lynch, the Women's World Championship. But what y'all think? What brand she gonna be in, and why? Y'all let me know down in the comments below. I'd love to hear that. But anyway, this is where Jay Cargill said. I can't help but notice I see your title, and I want a shot of it too as well. And then Becky Lynch was looking like you might get it, but you just need to ask. And then this is where Jay Cargill's like, okay, like she's very funny, Adam. And then this is where Adam Pearce's like, yeah, like she can be very silly as the man. Like, welcome to Monday Night Raw. Like, love your outfit. And this is where you're like, oh, thanks. Thank you very much. This is where we cut off to the big Bronson Reed for his match against the current Intercontinental Champion, which is the Ring General Gunther. Let's see right here. But yeah, we're gonna start off right here into the middle of it, just without to waste your time. This is where they start hitting strikes off, clotheslines off, and some chops off. Which I'll say, what are you doing? What are you doing, Bronson Reed? Like, what are you doing, Bronson Reed? Like using his own move against using Gunther's own move against him is not the right thing to do. He's gonna basically try to murk you. But luckily that didn't happen. This is where he just hits a striking chop right into Bronson Reed's back. This is where he tried to go for the running lariat from hell, but he got picked off by Bronson Reed with the most big and brutal not German suplex. The biggest and most brutal Samoan drop I have ever seen from a big man, a 300-pounder. This is where I was like, no, it wasn't. It was the biggest and brutal Death Valley driver, even my Death Valley drivers, like Death Valley driver, which is the most dominating move in all of sports entertainment, which is my signature move. And then unfortunately it doesn't get that much appreciated. But anyways, this is where he pins Gunther, but the referee counts to 1, the referee counts to 2, but he kicks out just in time at the 2.999 count. And then this is where Bronson Reed tried to go for a running senton. Gunther immediately got his knees up to trap him into the knee. This is where Gunther hits his, I believe, his signature move. And like I said before, and I'll say that this was the third guy that did his finishing move in the second attempt successfully. Like when you don't get your move successfully executed the first time, you're gonna get it. You're sure as hell gonna get it the second time, guaranteed. But anyway, this is where he pins Bronson Reed. The referee counted 1, the referee counted 2, but he kicks out at 2.8 seconds. Gunther's like, "Are you serious? Like I expected him probably come and kick out, but I didn't know he would kick out a second early." But this is where Gunther was like, "Okay, like if that's not gonna work." This is where Gunther tried to go right on the top rope. This is where he gets intercepted by. This is where he hits a strike right onto Gunther, right on the top rope, onto the bottom right corner, I believe. This is where Gunther hits a chop. This is where he chops. This is where he hits the most brutally chop, like to the point that he was too distracted and not even caring that he uses his own chops against him, and making him pissed off. Like he was too distracted to being pissed off because he was trying to get back to because he was trying to get the painness out of his face of getting chopped by the big man and the former NXT North American champion. This is where Big Bronson Reed tried to go up to the top rope, hits the most biggest suplex I have ever seen in professional wrestling. Not the most exploding suplex. That term belongs to the likes of the Big Show and Brock Lesnar and Braun Strowman with their matches from half a decade and 2 decades ago. But this is where Big Bronson Reed covers Gunther. The referee count to 1, the referee count to 2, but he kicks out at 2.9999999, 0.1 second away from being 3. This is what Bronson Reed's like. I knew that wasn't gonna be a foolproof plan, but it was a perfect. It was a perfect way to bring him down, but he's just enough to get up right on the top rope, hit my finishing move, which was the tsunami. This is where he tried to go out, try to do the maneuver. This is where Gunther got out of the way right on time before he had a chance to land right onto him to finish him off, which was the smart move because I believe that move has never been kicked out before, which is another most undefeated finishing move in sports entertainment. Like since the end of days, is no longer a undefeatable. It's an undefeatable finishing move, and this is where Gunther hits a middle missile drop kick right onto Bronson Reed, and he landed right onto the top right corner. Into Tina the turnbuckle. Finally get hit with a third attempt of the clothesline, from the lariat or clothesline from hell, which he's probably double lucky right now. This is where he went right on the top rope, and then he tried to go for his big splash of his own, looking like his version of the. Like the tsunami, like the Austrian splash, I guess you could call it. This is where he pins Bronson Reed. Referee count to 1, referee count to 2, but he kicks out at 2.9 seconds. Gunther's like, how in the hell did he kick out of that? Which that move's definitely not going to be the most undefeated move in all sports entertainment, but Gunther's was very pissed off at that, more than pissed off than AEW wrestlers doing his chops without his permission and making him envious. This is where he goes for a Gunther bomb. He makes sure he all set to drop him, which he did so. He barely picked him off his feet, something like he did to Otis. He lifted him up in 1 second and drops him down before his back probably gives out. This is where he pins Bronson Reed. Referee counted to 1. He counted to 2. He counted to 3, and he's still the IC champion, maintaining his longest ever reigning Intercontinental Championship reign in WWE history. And what do you thought about this match? So close, huh? With Bronson Reed being a pinch away from being IC champion, but we all know Gunther had it in him to defeat Big Bronson Reed and stay as IC champion until Chad Gable gets an opportunity again to become IC champion. But when do you think he's gonna lose his title? And do you think it's gonna be Chad Gable, or do you think it's gonna be, do you think it's gonna be somebody else? Y'all let me know down below. But yeah, but in the meantime, we're gonna see this most historical reign continue from the ring general, what's her name? Samantha Irvin always announced Gunther, and even my mom even pays attention to that, and even sort of imitates Samantha Irving's announcement, calling him Gunther. But yeah, he remains his championship. And I'm gonna let y'all decide on what you think about this of the sort in the comment section down below. We're gonna move on to the next segment, which was a backstage interview with Kathy Carey of her guest at this time, which was Not Kathy Cat. That's a Kathy Cat. No, it was Jackie Redmond, which he's normally in the headquarters with Matt Kemp for Raw Talk. But I think she got to upgrade to being in the building with the wrestlers. They exclusively do a backstage interview with the wrestlers on Raw. And she was like, my guess is this time the self-proclaimed must-see television superstar, The Miz. And this Miz like, isn't it great to see me, Captain? Like you had to put me on the third. You had to really put me on the third hour just to put me on the third hour just to put me on the show. And he was like, I was proclaimed it'll be in the rest. Me most CT. Mike Miz Mazan is really running this company. Like, how you start the premiere? And you start with this face right here, this compound. And he's like, and I know Sami Zayn pity party saying like, oh, Kevin Owens is no longer here, like, and mocking Sami Zayn in the process of saying like I'm not being welcome, like, especially like all these other wrestlers. And he started mocking these wrestlers just like if he was The Rock, which I'm not sure if this is gonna put him over. Like in that time when The Rock started mocking everybody, like with Stone Cold Rikishi saying like I did for The Rock, or hey, I guess it's me, Stone Cold Steve, drinking a couple of Austin Weisers, and me, and then Triple H like it's me and The Rock stepping in the ring, and then saying that The Undertaker, you will last in peace, and then crossing his eyes, which I bet Ricky Starks was inspired by. But this is what my point is: The Miz was acting very similar during that time with The Rock in the Attitude Era, and what's with Apex Predator always keeps showing on the most savage moments in WWE history or the Attitude Era. But anyway, this is where. And he's like, Kevin Owens betrayed me many times. And he's like, Kevin Owens betrayed me all the time, but I still miss him. Like, do you really have to act like that? Like, I better get some respect on my name. And if I don't, and then before he can finish the sentence, this is when Nia Jax came in, straightened up, and grabs the remote. Not grabbed the remote, grabbed the microphone off of Jackie Redmond's hand. And as you went face to face to the Miz, Miz was like, oh, like, the stage is all yours. Like, I'm just giving my opinions to Jackie Redmond. Like, you, this is where Nia Jax was like, you see what's going on here? Everybody is hitting me with their best shot, but I'm still standing here and looking pretty. He's like, I haven't hit anybody with my best shot yet, and if I hit them with my shot, they stay down. Because on Monday Night Raw, I do the squashing. I was like, yeah, you used to have been doing the squashing in squash matches, including making your in-ring debut by facing Britt Baker before there even was an All Elite Wrestling. But that's a story for another day. We'll talk about that some other time. But this is where we finally get the main event match with the American Nightmare and Jey Uso, which we're going to start right here with the main event. And it's time for the main event of the evening, because it was the Judgment Day taking on the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes and the main event Jey Uso, which they're known as the Undisputed Tag Team Championships. Like, and it was for the Undisputed Tag Team, for those tag team titles, and we're gonna go right here.
Not Burrow. Trey, can you watch this in your room?
And then let's see right here.
Fuck, I don't want to have to let you have my Xbox and everything. I guess I will. I was trying to play GTA. That's the whole fucking point.
You go play GTA. You gonna watch on the tablet.
I'm gonna say because I know he's gonna want the Xbox.
Okay, let's talk about with it being we would start off with, or even though I should start with the beginning where Cody Rhodes start off with Damian Priest hitting hitting him with strikes and some amateur style, or should I say grappling, some good old grappling kind of rest, headlocks and etc. But this is where he tags in Jey Uso, and then he got in the match fighting off the Judgment Day's Damian Priest, but he eventually got double teamed by both him and Balor, and then being away from being tagged from his tag partner Cody Rhodes, and this is where Finn Balor tried to go for. This is where Finn Balor tried to go for his signature buckle drop kick right onto right into Jey Uso, like getting in position. This is where he tried to go for a drop kick, but instead he gets super kicked right onto Balor. This is where he. Oh wait, what am I talking about? I need to go back just a little bit. But yeah, this is where he got back in the match, like after he getting double teamed and mugged. This is where Cody Rhodes started hitting this comeback move onto I believe which was Finn Balor. This is where Jey Uso gets tagged back in the match. This is where Dominic Mysterio tried to interfere, but this is where Cody Rhodes tried to chase him out of the arena. This is where he gets intercepted by Finn Balor when he went around the corner into the bottom left corner of the ringside area. This is where he gets interceptedly tagged forward by clothesline into the bottom right corner, bottom left corner of the ringside area. This is where Finn Balor did his pose like this as the extraordinary man. This is where Finn Balor thought he could get a number over Jey Uso. Let's see. This is where Damian Priest was back in the match. This is where he tried to go for some kind of a back suplex slam majig. But this is where Cody Rhodes flipped out of it. This is where he tried to go for a clothesline, but he was too late to do anything because he got kicked in the midsection. This is where Cody Rhodes tried to go for the pedigree, which he successfully did. It was a quick and short one, but it had a strong impact in the process, a strong forcing impact when he kicked and do a pedigree, boom. But some say he could be like the next Triple H. This is where. But I don't think he should be the next Triple H. I think he should be the next of himself and his father, Dusty, the American Dreams. This is where Jey Uso was like, come on, get back in the game. Come on, tag. And this is where he tags, and this is where Priest tags in Finn Balor. This is where Cody Rhodes tags in Jey Uso, hits a flying clothesline right onto Finn Balor. This is where he hits a super kick right in the midsection. This is where he swings his arm like he did, like if he still was teaming with his brother Jimmy. This is where he hits a sliding uppercut right on the ground, like an underhook uppercut. This is where he tried to clothesline Jey Uso afterwards, but he ducks. He runs right into the right side of the ropes. He gets caught by Jey Uso with the Samoan drop, and then this is where Jey Uso ripped off his crank top that he had on. And then this is where you get ready to hit the running hip attack, like shouting "ooze," and the fans like "oh so," like "ooh so." And then this is where you try to go for it, the running hip attack, but before he had a chance to turn around and hit him with it, this is where he gets flipped over by Balor right onto the ring apron. And then this is where he tried to knock him right off the apron. This is where he gets caught with the step up insta-gear. Jey Uso got right up on the top. This is where he gets right up on the top rope. This is where he hits the crossbody right onto Finn Balor. And then this is where he pins. He got a 1, he got a 2, but he kicks out at 2.999.
Hold on to it right here. Oh, you did?
That's what I'm saying, man. But we're gonna get to that, Mr. Takashi. Hopefully I pronounced that right. But we're going to talk about that. Yes, sir. Takashi, yeah. I cannot believe that, too. That pisses me off, too. Yeah. But why would that happen tonight? But anyway, I'm going to get to that right after the review. This is where Finn Balor Finn Balor hits a sling blade, but he only got a 1. He only got a 2, but he kicks out, unfortunately, with the 2.999. This is where Finn Balor does the point right onto Jey Uso. And then, yeah, I'm a huge fan of Cody Rhodes, too. Ever since I was 5 years old, or even 6 or 7 years old, when he was teaming with Randy Orton, his legacy with Ted DiBiase. When me and my brother was a huge Cody Rhodes fan, thanks to him teaming with Randy Orton, of course, and Ted DiBiase Jr. But yeah, speaking of Cody, this is where Cody and Jey Uso was getting ready to do the one Cody D, which they did so. They successfully executed the move. This is where Jey Uso tried to go for a pin. I thought this was going to be it for and retain their undisputed tag team championship. The referee counted the 1, the referee counted the 2, but he kicks out at the last second. I was like, what the hell? Like, did he literally just kicked out? Like, why? Like, why? Like, no.
It's not super big, but it's decent.
And then this is where Cody Rhodes go for a suicide to Damian Priest, but Damian Priest caught him with a 1 hit. Chokes him right into the hardest part of the ring, back first into the ring apron. This is where Damian Priest was back there. He was like, I'm going to finish the American Nightmare. What's it for? And then he knocks over the commentators' paper scripts and the computers and the top logo of Raw. This is where he tried to go for the Uso splash. This is where he assuming gets denied and get kicked right into the head, right onto Damian Priest got kicked right in the head and got off the apron. Really? You got the chance to meet the American Nightmare before he even was the American Nightmare in 2011? Yeah, congratulations, my dude. Yeah, like that's really great. I hope I meet him too. Yeah, I'm trying to save up some money to go to a WWE show. I have a family friend that went to the event. Like, I still haven't asked him about how was the show, and he wrestled in the street fight with The Miz in a house show. Like. But hopefully I get a chance to meet him, even get his autograph. I need to get his robe so he can sign it. And even the belt he wears around it. But anyways, yeah. I'm glad to hear that, my dude. Takashi, I hope I got that pronounced. Yeah, I'm glad to hear that, my dude. Yeah. But hopefully I get to meet him too. And get his autograph, though, like I said. But, yeah, back to the – but this is where he tried to go for the Uso splash, but this is where Dominic Mysterio grabs onto his leg. This is where he kicks him off and make him send him packing off the apron. This is where he tried to go for the Uso splash, but it was too late because Finn Balor was back into consciousness. Hit him with the knees up right onto Jey Uso. This is where he rolls him up into a little roll-up, but he kicks out, thank God. He kicks out, but this is where Dominic still got up right back on the apron, but it was in the left side of the corner. This is where he was telling Finn Balor, get back up. And he was like, and then you need to listen to me, referee, Mr. Referee. Like, that was 3, and you should have counted it. And then referee's like, no, it was 2.9. You got TV back? Really? Okay, but anyways. This is where he trips him over. This is where he starts striking him with right hands, right into his head. This is where he Irish whip him right into Rita the ring post. You got your TV back? Yeah. Yeah. This is where he threw him right into the former Barry Barricade. Dominic Mysterio, Sami Zayn came in for the set, even the Trey, you. I know you're excited. You got your TV back in your room. Trey, be careful. Yeah. But yeah, I know you're careful, but Uncle SNA's trying to finish his review here. But yeah, shout out a cameo to my nephew Atreyu. Yeah, you too, Tashi or Takashi. Yeah, Takashi. But yeah, 100. Yeah, thank you so much. And pre-cheers. Oh, Trey, be careful. Pre-cheers to my nephew Atreyu. Daddy always makes his cameo appearances on my SNA videos. But anyways, this is where Damian Priest hits him head first right into Rita the ring post. This is where This is where the American Nightmare threw him over Barry Barricade, or former Barry Barricade. God bless his soul. This is where Cody Rhodes tried to get back in the game. This is where he tried to tag in, ask him to get tagged in by Jey Uso. He's like, come on, I'm waiting for you. Come on, Jey Uso, tag me in. Like, and then this is where, yeah, there were big cheers. That's right. Yeah, there was big cheers. This is where, Takashi, thank you for the reminder. There was big cheers from the fans where he get This is where he tried to tag him, but Finn Balor knocked him right out of the ring. This is where it was a double clothesline by both Finn Balor and Jey Uso. This is where the referee wasn't looking because he was too distracted with both men on the ground in the ring, or in the canvas, I should say. And then this is where Damian Priest did the most dirtiest trick. And this was the second dirtiest trick in all sports entertainment that happened tonight. But this time he kicks him with a low blow right in his foot, right into the place where it hurts the most. This is where he picks him up, hits him with the razor's edge, right through the announce table. This is where and then this is where Jey Uso hits a suicide dive right on the outside. This is where Finn Balor hits a missile. This is where he hits a missile buckle drop kick right into the corner as soon as he got back in. Finn Balor tried to go for the coup de grace. Jey Uso smartly got back up. This is where he hits a spear right out it was somewhere, but it was out of nowhere for Finn Balor's case. This is where he went right on the top rope. This is where he tried to go for the Uso splash. But this is where Damian Priest went for a distraction. This is where Damian Priest tried to get him off the top rope. This is where he dodges his what move he was trying to hit. It was a maneuver. This is where Damian Priest tried to interfere in the match. Oh yeah, that's right. He was trying to attack him off the top rope, but he dodged him right out the bat. This is where he spears him too, having him roll out of the ring in a spine crushing manner, I should say. No, a rib crushing manner, I should say, because he hit right on his ribs and his midsection.
It's the perfect TV station.
I was really hoping that. I'll say, yeah, I agree on one thing about that. He has one historical career, and it's a one that's never going to be forget. That no one's not going to forget. It's not going to be forgettable whatsoever. And also, I think Cody Rhodes was, I'll say, and nothing against Gunther and you, Takashi. I'm glad Cody Rhodes won. But at the same time, what was the point of having him win, though, just to have Roman Reigns beat him? Even though just to have Roman Reigns have over 1,000 days. But did he really have to do it for the expense of Cody Rhodes taking a pinfall loss? But yeah, Gunther is doing successful with the Intercontinental Champion, and he has so much potential, and he's very dominant and undefeated, and respectfully a fan favorite. A fan favorite he's starting to be, like, with this historical accolade. Even before that, he was doing very successful in NXT as NXT UK champion, and holding that title for over 2 years. Like for her, I would believe with how many months? 28 months. I'll say a good 28 months is champion until Ilya Dragunov beat him for the NXT championship, NXT UK championship, of course. But yeah, I would say I agree with you on one thing about he has potential, and he is honestly the greatest. I would say greatest just yet. I would say the best wrestlers, one of the best wrestlers in WWE right now, and hopefully he gets pushed to the moon for the World Heavyweight Championship. I agree on that, sir. But yeah, back to this is where he tried to go for the Uso splash, but instead he got attacked from behind by his own brother, out of all people. I was like, what the hell is he doing here? Ain't he supposed to be on SmackDown? And then this is where he super kicks him, throws him back in the ring. Finn Balor hits the coup de grace, and then this is where they got the 1, 2, 3. And then agree, like you said, Takashi. That kind of made me disappointed too, because because they just lost the titles. And like you said on your first comment, Takashi, like, he shouldn't have lost that title. They shouldn't have lost that title, at least not tonight. Like, it was a bit too soon. Like, I can understand. Give him about a week or two. Like, I would have taken it, like I said at the beginning of this video. But did you really have to do this in a way that didn't even make any sense? Like, in story. Like, I mean, for Judgment Day's perspective, like, they did what they said they're going to do, but but Jimmy Uso had to get involved, and I think there's some kind of business that's emerging with Jimmy Uso and the Judgment Day. Like, it may not be Jey Uso, but Jey Uso that might join the Judgment Day, but it'll possibly be his brother that will, after him helping out Judgment Day regain their undisputed tag team championships. Yeah, I don't blame you and your friend. Yeah, like, no, I believe like at least 50% of us wrestling fans or WWE fans was not happy about the results about Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso losing those tag titles so soon. Even though it only had a 9-day reign, but they could have gotten a little more. Like, they could have at least gotten to 20 days as tag team champions at least. Like, over 20 days, I should say. Like, instead of losing them so soon to the Judgment Day just because they continue their relevancy. Like, they can continue their relevancy without the tag titles. Like, they don't really need them like that. Like, they just need them to show that they can gain gold just like that. But they didn't really need to do that with the associations of Jimmy Uso interfering and costing his brother and Cody Rhodes the shot to retain their tag team titles. And it looks like we're going to see more of this. Probably continues as we go forward for Friday Night SmackDown. Like, and we're going to probably get some explanations from the jealous brother of the Usos, Jimmy, main event GM, which he needs to go back and get hit into the rim, and then and go to Impact Wrestling, and never go back to WWE ever again, at least at this time, of course. But yeah, that was tonight's Raw. Hope we all enjoyed. Like, I'll say the main event, on my opinion, was very disappointing. Like, and I agree on one thing. Maybe it should be 50 days. I think maybe it should be. Like, I'd say for me as a Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso fan, being a fanboy, I would agree on that statement. Yeah, on that perspective. I would say they should hold that title for 50 days, probably until Royal Rumble time. Like over 50 days, like until Royal Rumble time, then lose the championship. Then they lose them to like a potential star, like to a SmackDown wrestler or even someone on Raw, but more likely a SmackDown tag team star, like a Pretty Deadly or Austin Theory and Grayson Waller, or even the Street Profits, because they're doing some improving into the But yeah, I agree with you on one thing about as a wrestling fan. But I'll say, but if it's the shortest reign, at least over 20 plus days, but 50 plus days, like, I would say as a fanboy, I agree. So this is going to be telling the story and him finishing the story. But yeah, that was the right Raw. But I would say I would give it a decent 3-star out of the five-star review. I'll say 3 out of the 5 stars, like 3-star review for the show. And how y'all would give tonight's Monday Night Raw? How would y'all rate it, and what y'all think about tonight's Monday Night Raw? Y'all, and that includes you too, my friend Takashi. Y'all let me know down in the comments below, and let me know like y'all's opinions about it genuinely, and let me know if just like my new viewer here, Takashi here, like thinks that they shouldn't have lost those titles anytime soon, which I totally agree with him on that. Like, it was way too soon. Yeah, that was totally way too soon. They needed to, like, they should have had them hold those titles for more longer than they should, and then lose them to another tag team, possibly a SmackDown tag team that's in SmackDown, but yeah, SmackDown will be more continued to be the story for another day, possibly sooner, but But yeah, that was tonight's Raw. Hopefully y'all enjoyed this video. And if you did, and same with you, Takashi. You give me a huge thumbs up if I haven't assumed that you already did give me a big thumbs up. Comment down below, just like my number one viewer right here, Takashi, down in the comments below, like him, and like this video, smash the subscribe button, and you too, Takashi. If you haven't subscribed already, I please ask you, can you please subscribe for me? And which is the subscribe button right there, and then you have the bell notification bell, so you won't miss any notifications that when I upload my new SNA podcast video. But oh, okay, yeah. Thank you so much for subscribing, Takashi. Yeah, I'll be looking forward for you on my next video, which will be the SNA podcast episode 75. It will be the NXT review, which we're going to talk about what's going to go down, which is going to be the number one contenders match for the NXT Championship, which will be Carmelo Hayes, Dijak, and Baron Corbin. And okay, yeah. This is just a theory, but then again, it could happen. Reminded person on how much I fix the it like. But yeah, thank you for subscribing to my channel. Clicking the bell notifications, so you'll be the first one to know, my homies. Like. Bye. But yeah, and I hope you was also entertained with my nephew Atreyu here. But yeah, I've been your host, Super Ninja Austin. This was my nephew Atreyu, and this was the latest edition of the SNA podcast, episode 75. Thank you for the 100 sign. And this was the episode 74 of the SNA podcast. This was the wrestling review part 10 of Monday Night Raw. And hopefully y'all will continue to watch my videos, including you, Takashi, tomorrow night, the NXT review, which will be... Yeah, thank you so much. I'm definitely going to be making the video. That's going to motivate me of having my number one viewer here. And pre-cheers to my... pre-cheers for that. And thank you for watching to the very end, Takashi. I very appreciate that. Hopefully you continue to do so, and I hope you watch more of my content. And my earlier videos from August and September is already uploaded onto my YouTube channel at Super Ninja Austin 213. And make sure you share this with your friends, Takashi. I would love to have more viewers like you. You're very cool, man. And post it all over. And same with you viewers that will watch this in the future. Subscribe not subscribe, subscribe, like this video, smash the subscribe button, click the notification bell, and also share this with your fans all over social media or via text and messages and direct messages. And it could be any social media accounts. It could be Facebook, it could be Instagram, it could be Telegram, it could be WhatsApp, Twitter, TikTok, yeah. Thank you so much for liking this video, and thank you so much for subscribing. Thank you so much for gotten this and sharing this with your friends, Takashi. I'm going to make sure I remember that, and I'll remember you as my regular viewer onto my SNA podcast viewers. Thank you so much. You have it down? Bet. But yeah, I've been your host, Super Ninja Austin, and I will see you all tomorrow night on my SNA podcast review. A review show for NXT Part 10, and it will be the 75th episode. Make sure y'all check that out. But in the meantime, Super Ninja Austin, the assassin, is out. And goodbye to you, my homie Takashi.